We're going to discuss the effects of the lockdown on her work. Hello, Thea. Thanks for joining us. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Well, it's great to have you on screen. We haven't chatted for quite a while. And I first would like to thank you for also participating in that book project that I've done, Being Creative in the New Normal. And this video follow up between yourself, Bongi, Harris, and myself, who are we are participating in this, and it's an absolute pleasure to be doing this,
Yeah, it was.
and just to have a more real-time catch-up with three of the participants of this project. I'm very, very happy about this. The response to the book, the ebook that we disseminated for free, the response was overwhelmingly supportive and caring and understanding about the challenges of creatives in the new normal.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Let's start with this. How have you been coping mentally, psychologically, maybe emotionally during this lockdown period?
Firstly, on a very personal note, I've lost my father during lockdown, as you have lost your mother. My father passed away, COVID related. I can share with the world, and I do not easily share my personal life with the world, but I think this is valid and relevant because so many millions of people around the world have experienced this lo- feeling of loss and grief during this pandemic. So it has been grim, it has been terrifying, it is abstract, and it's horrifying not to have had the opportunity to find closure. What made me cope and what made me get through my day was to find, and that is something that I've been doing since July last year. I believe in routine. I have a very strict daily routine which I follow, and I also have a weekly routine, and that helps me to cope on a day-to-day basis. And I believe in exercise. I do yoga in the mornings. I believe in meditation, and I also believe in relaxation, in reading a book, listening to good music, and yes, taking care of my projects and making contact with people and chatting to people. I am more one-on-one like we are doing today and sharing my experience with the world. Um, as a private person, that is rather daunting, but as I've mentioned, I think it carries value and relevance uh, during these times.
The structure is kind of important, right?
It's a strict structure to a day, not minute by minute, but just a basic routine. Yes, a basic routine is helpful to help you cope and get through a day. I have to work from home strictly because I have a inherited genetic comorbidity. So I have to be extra careful, but this actually gave me new opportunities in terms of my growth and to look after my projects in a different way.
Yeah. So what have you been reading, watching, or let's say following on the media or elsewhere during this lockdown? And uh, could you find inspiration from that in any way?
Oh, yes. During lockdown, I've become a sort of a professional Googler. I research things. I love learning more. I watch a movie on TV and I see an actor I don't recognize, and then I'm Googling him or her immediately. I love reading my books again, old books on my shelf. It's standing here in my office. I love looking at my an art again. But behind me, you would find ancient land, which is really one of my favorite pieces. Um, that whole thing of inquiring. And but as far as reading, following, or watching, part of my routine every day is to read at least about 3 or 4 topics that has got nothing to do with art. I've also become more interested in inclusive projects around the world, how people are doing um, humanitarian work, and just random reading of topics that are really, really relevant in the times in which we are living right now.
You're using an important word because, as an artist, if you would like to be relevant, it's important to know what's going on. And the most important artists in history were the ones who were in touch with the social issues of their time.
And one has to be in touch with that because you cannot isolate yourself too much in terms of your own thinking.
In the end, it's really about understanding your own place in the world, isn't it?
It's really about understanding your own place and how you can reposition yourself in terms of more significance,
Yes, yes,
and being more significant and learning how you can how you can give more of yourself, which is so important.
yes.
Giving at this time is important.
So I want to ask you this. Have any of your pre-lockdown projects been revived during this period? Or did you make some totally new ones? Did any new opportunities come forward during during the lockdown period?
I think lockdown was almost like a mini sabbatical. It's still a bit of a sabbatical, but it's opening up a bit more. People are becoming to be in contact. Well, not in contact more, but try to connect more and more on finding more creative ways to connect. Like we are doing today. You are sitting in Toronto. I'm in Pretoria, in South Africa. It's just absolutely vital to connect. I have focused more on my evaluation projects of artworks in collections and in deceased estates. That is something that I've always been doing. I've been doing it for 30 years. And I have developed that um, service to things that are not just top South African paintings, sculptures, and works on paper, but any object where there is some form of artistic or artisanal intent involved. Another project that I'm working on which I would keep everybody posted in due course, is convene a rather big exhibition project with the fellow alumni from our university where I study. It's going to be something quite monumental. It is on so many levels. It has become meaningful.
That's the bottom line, meaning. Hey? Well, thank you for sharing, Sia. It was very interesting to hear what you had to say and what you've been up to. As you said, this is one of a series of conversations. So we hope people will keep watching and listening to what is going on.